Heading into the 2024 offseason, it seemed like the Chicago Bears were doomed to be a disastrous franchise until the front office decided to start making some moves. Hey, everybody. Today, I want to talk about the masterclass that has been done by the Chicago Bears front office. See, it all started in the 2024 offseason where they agreed on a contract with Jalen Johnson, their best corner and one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Some say cornerbacks. I say cornerback. You could say DB. Doesn't matter. Then they were blessed to have the first overall pick in the NFL draft. With the draft with so much quarterback talent. I don't think we've seen this much quarterback talent in the first round in a couple of years in terms of depth in the first round. And luckily, they got the first overall pick with one of the best quarterback prospects coming out of college we've seen in a long since Joe Burrow. And not only did they have that, they also had a secondary pick, the ninth overall pick. And now I don't got to tell y'all who they drafted with these picks, but for those who might not know, even though you clicked on this video, they decided to get their franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams and hopefully what they hope to be their franchise receiver. So, with that being said, the 2024 season started, 2024-2025 season, and it was really rocky. Caleb Williams had zero time in the pocket, zero protection, and his sack numbers were through the roof. And even with that, his confidence started to get shot. He was getting sacked every play. He was starting to get shell shocked. He was holding the ball for too long. It was a mess. Rome wasn't getting that many minutes. His depth chart wasn't high in the depth chart. He was the third, sometimes even the fourth option behind DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and even Cole Kmet. I'm not the one to question a coach's decisions, but evidently they fired their coach. They didn't panic in the middle of the season. They said, hey, we'll leave it to the off season. There's no need to overspend on assets. There's no rush. It's two rookies. There's no rush. So they sat on their hands for the most part and waited till the off season, where they signed a new head coach, Ben Johnson, who I think is a state-of-the-art offensive mastermind. We saw that line system, obviously speared by Dan Campbell, but if there's anything I could tell ya, Ben Johnson is going to be one hell of a head coach. He brought in his own staff, and boom, the offseason began. They kicked off the offseason signing offensive line talent like it was nobody's business. Like it was nobody's business. Multiple offensive linemen, all in the same offseason. It was back to back hits. And for those who think I'm not telling the truth, here you go. Look at this. Now, they traded with the Los Angeles Rams to acquire Jonah Jackson. I think he's a fine guard. He's not the most crazy offensive line talent, but he's pretty good. Definitely better than what they had. Then, one of the most surprising moves I've seen, they traded with the Chiefs for Joe Thuney, who I think is one of the best guards in the game. Now you could look, for those who are wondering why did the Chiefs trade arguably one of their best offensive linemen for a fourth when they're trying to win. Well, they tried to play Thuney at tackle in the Super Bowl and it didn't quite work out. So his market value dropped significantly. Well, I wouldn't say significantly, but enough to where the Bears were like, let's sweep in, let's take this guy. Because Joe Thuney, he wasn't meant to play tackle. He's a guard. And the Bears recognized that, which is why they traded for him. And then to top it off for their offensive line talent that they've acquired this offseason so far, they also signed Drew Dahlman, a center, to pretty meaty contract, 3 year, 42 mil. But wow, 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 am I impressed with this offseason. Just from offensive lineman talent alone. Then, they signed some people in the trenches, some edge rushers, linebackers. Grady Jarrett, we'll see what he could do there. But besides that, not much, really just some receivers, running backs, just to fill up the roster, depth. But man, oh man, oh man, oh man, when I tell you how impressed I am, because not only have they done all of that in this one offseason, they still have 3 top 50 picks in this draft. 3. And if you watch the Lions and you see how they ran their organization in recent years, you know they love their offense. They love their skilled players, their skilled positions. As we saw with them drafting a running back, and if I'm pretty sure it was the top 15. I know it was the top 15. I think it was possibly top 10. I'm not sure. But before that, it was unheard of. Drafting a running back that high, But see how that's worked out for them. And I mean, man, it's about to get real. It's about to get real dangerous out there. I mean, at the top of their division, pretty sure it's between the Vikings and Lions. I think the Lions edged them out. But I mean, man, the Chicago Bears, they're about to make some noise next season. I think it's going to take a little while for them to get adjusted. But man, once they midway through the season, once everything starts clicking, it's going to be like a brand new engine on a 2024 model train. Clean sailing. Because not only them signing this offensive lineman, they don't have to take an offensive lineman in the first 2 rounds. They really don't. And they already got some talent in the trenches. I still think they could fill out their defense, and their O-line a little bit. But that doesn't need to happen in the first 2 rounds. Especially guard. Which I think teams shouldn't take in the first round to begin with. But that's a topic for another day. So their possible movings and murmurs here could be they could take a tackle, which they do need. They could take secondary help. Because besides Jalen Johnson, there's not really premier defensive talent in the secondary. But in my personal opinion, if he is there at pick 10, I believe they have, Ashton Jeanty, welcome to Chicago. Ashton Jeanty, welcome to Chicago. See, with the recent rumors and after the results of free agency, it's looking like Jeanty might go to the Raiders or a little bit above. I don't want to spoil too much because I am going to release a mock draft video this week. But if he does make it there at 10, I promise you, Ben Johnson will not hesitate to take him at number 10. Because Ashton Jeanty, he's a freak of nature. But everybody knows that. But even if Jeanty is off the board, I doubt they go running back at 10. They'll probably go tackle. There's a couple of pretty promising tackles in this class. And before someone says Will Campbell is one of them, no, he is not. I personally believe he is a guard due to his arm length. But I would be happy if he proves me wrong. But there are some premier tackle options such as Kelvin Banks Jr. We'll see what goes on. If they don't take running back at pick 10, they have 2 second-round picks. And this is one of the deepest running back classes I personally have seen in recent years. And man, oh man, there's a couple of hitters. If Amari and Hampton is there with their second-round pick, because I think he'll be great. Personally, out of the Ohio State running backs, I think Quinshawn Junkins is the better one between him and Trayvon Henderson. And man, me personally, I think Quinshawn Junkins is running back 2. I used to think he was running back 1, but Jinty really straightened that out for me. But I think he's running back 2 in this class. I think Amari Hampton has more. He has the higher floor, but I think Quinshawn Junkins has the higher ceiling due to just his frame and his physicals. But I mean, either one of those with their second round pick would be a hit. And then if they're able to hit on a running back, get an offensive tackle, because they have 3 picks in the top 50, so it's doable. And even so, they can trade up. They can easily trade up. They have assets. If they're able to get an offensive tackle, a running back, and an addition in the secondary, Chicago's playoff bound easily. Although most of the core pieces are going to be young. Besides, they're more veteran players like Cole Kmet, DJ Moore. I'm telling you, with that experienced offensive line to be able to protect Caleb Williams, because I think you guys forget. These offensive line are tried and tested. They know how to play the game of football. They're not rookies, so they'll be able to protect Caleb Williams. Roma Dunze, I think he'll have a breakout season just due to Caleb Williams having time in the pocket, so he can zip that ball, and he's probably gonna be, if my personal opinion, the second option. But then with the addition of an actual running back, because I think Swift he's a fine running back, but they really need premier talent at running back just so that offense is not per se predictable, but it's a dual threat. So the running game could be practically just as feared as the passing game. Because once you have that in a football team, you're a real threat to any team you're playing. If the Bears are able to do that, I say in two seasons, so the 2026 or 2027 year, I think they'll be the king of their division by far. And I know the Lions are there. I know the Vikings got J.J. Jefferson. I said J.J. Jefferson. What? I mean Jay Jettis. My fault. Second best receiver in the game. He's my favorite, but Jamar Chase. We don't got to talk about... Don't worry. The Bengals are getting a video soon because have you seen that contract? But with that being said, man, Chicago. They're about to have a blow up. They're about to blow up. Don't be surprised when you see them as a real playoff contender. The same way you saw the Houston Texans last season. Oh, y'all not ready. That being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Stay tuned for the mock draft video. It'll be coming out sometime this week. Not sure when. Health is wealth. I love y'all. Catch you on the next one.